And welcome to the show. We are here live at the Pedrozatravel Channel show. And we are here talking about all things travel. And we welcome you to the show. Thank you so much for coming out. We are going to have a great show today. We have some wonderful guests. Today we are talking about Princess versus Carnival Cruises lines. And I have brought some excellent experts in for you today. So let me introduce you into the show. We're going to introduce you to Robin and Chet from Sea Legs Journey. Welcome to the show, Robin and Chet. We are so happy to have you on the show talking about Princess versus Carnival Cruise Lines. But as is our tradition here, we like to ask you a few questions. So, hello.
Hello, how
Hello!
are you? And the crowd goes
Wow!
wild.
Woohoo! Thank you for that wild welcome crowd.
Where is my? We're having there. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Yes. So welcome to the show. I see we have Mark the Shark in the chat today. We have My Flock, and I want to say that we have Amy also in the chat today. So welcome everybody, one and all. We're so happy to have you in the show. As Sea Lake Serenity, welcome everyone. So today we're welcoming in Robin and Chet from Sea Lake Journeys. Oh, hey, Z Show. Z is in the house today. We are happy to have Z in the house today. It's always fun. The first few minutes of the show is always fun because you can say hi to everybody. That's the best part.
That's right.
Let's tell them all hi.
Come on. And so today we have Robin and Chet from Sea Lake Journeys. And I got questions. I always got questions. So first of all, why the channel? Why the channel, Sea Lake Journeys?
Why?
Why did you start YouTube?
We didn't have anything else to do in our life. No.
I'm giving you a squeaky for that.
Well, the number one reason we started our channel was because Chet became an amputee and we could not find any information out there about what kind of room we should get, whether or not the ships were going to help us, what the ports were going to be like for someone with handicap. Even though we'd been cruising for years, we'd been cruising with four legs.
And hadn't paid attention to any of that stuff. And so now we had to pay attention and thought, hey, why don't we get the information and bring it to the people on YouTube?
And actually, we've gotten several subscribers that are other people that have mobility issues. Many amputees now follow us.
Got one last night, in fact.
Yeah, we did.
That's great. That's great. And so that's interesting. So I know one issue that has been coming up a lot lately is the whole issue of elevators.
Yes.
And I remember you just recently had a show where you're talking about elevators on your show and how people like to dart in and they were sitting on Chet's lap.
Yeah.
It is amazing how people on scooters and people in wheelchairs cannot get on an elevator. The elevators are either full when they stop, or people will dart in front of someone. We've had people dart in front of us to get a table. And so the elevator, now we're on one ship that had an elevator designated for mobility issues. And there were people, there was an employee standing there, and you had to be either a walker, a cane, a wheelchair, or scooter to ride that particular elevator. And it was fabulous.
Yeah, that was great.
That's something that all cruise ships should do.
That's so interesting. In fact, I was just hearing a show today on another YouTube channel. It was, what is that one with the Lalita Loca? He was talking about that today. And he was talking about how somebody has been advocating out to do one elevator dedicated to just wheelchair. And I wondered how that worked. Like, would you have to go through the whole ship to do that elevator? Was it in the central area?
On the ship that we were on? It was on the midship elevator shaft, and it was just one elevator, because the midship elevator shaft usually has the glass elevators that go up, and then they have the regular banks of elevators, and it was a regular banked elevator, and there was an employee standing there, and literally the only people that could get on that particular elevator, and he would hold the door for you and everything. It was fabulous.
Yeah, and it was only during the busy times because a lot of times you don't need it. There's plenty of elevator time, but when everybody's heading to that evening meal and to the shows after the meal, those elevators are nuts.
And
Yeah.
Chet's been in a wheelchair before, where I have actually ran to the elevator, held the elevator door open so that he can come from the other side of the lobby area of the elevator to get into the elevator. And then if there's anyone else there in that area that's handicapped, I'll say, "Come on, I'm holding this door. Get over here," because we know what it's like. It's amazing
For sure.
how rude people are when it comes to people that have mobility issues and the elevator.
And you know what? I don't even think it comes down to mobility issues sometimes. I just think people are sometimes just rude because even in ships, they'll just dart in, even though you've been waiting for that elevator for a long time. They will just come right in and get in there. What I liked a lot about the panorama, when I was on the panorama, is that elevator has no buttons on the inside. So on the panorama, you have to tell, there's a little panel at the beginning of the elevator, and you have to tell how many people are in your party and what floor you're going to. And then it gives you an elevator. But what was funny that first day is lots of people would run into the elevator like they normally would. And I'm like, well, I guess you're going to the 11th floor with me.
That's
awesome.
interesting. That's very
That was awesome. And then they
can't
have
wait
to
to
like
see that.
redo the whole thing to come back down again.
That's a great idea. I like that too.
Yeah, there's no buttons inside the elevators in the Carnival Panorama. You have to tell it before you get into the elevator. And then it
Wait.
tells you what elevator to go to.
Oh,
And,
okay.
and before we were handicapped, we never used the elevators. We always used the stairs.
Stairs. We never.
Oh, that's
put
good.
an
Good on you.
elevator.
I'll do like 1 or 2 floors if it's crowded, but I'm like, sorry, look at me. I'm just not much of a stair person.
Well, we go. We
that
do care for deck 11. We do all the way up.
Wow, that's good. Good on you. So, along with why you did the first channel, so your channel, you did it because you were handicapped. What was your first video then?
So our very first video was, even before we decided to start a channel, it was a handicap room, because it was the first handicap room we were ever in. And we just didn't see anything out there, no videos out there of handicap rooms. So we did that video. We actually did 2 room videos before we started our channel. So when you look at our channel, it looks like we've had a channel since what, 2015?
Something like that.
But we really didn't. We had 3 videos, and they were all handicap rooms.
Yeah, 2 are handicap rooms. One is a ship tour. But yeah, the first video was 11202 on the Carnival Magic. It was a handicap room, and the second one was 6208, a balcony room, a handicap room on the Carnival Magic. And our very first video we did after we became a channel, and we said, you know what, we're going to be a channel, which was last year. We did a handicap room on the Sky Princess, and it was C301.
And actually,
Wow, okay, you know the cabin number. Wow, that's good.
and we've actually gotten subscribers from those specific videos on those specific rooms.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, wow, that's amazing. Well, first of all, I'd like to say welcome into the show. I think this is the first time you're in the show, Traveler Buster. Welcome in here. It's always good to have a new person in the show. And I'd also like to give a round of applause to Sarah from My Flock is Everywhere. She is helping us out with the doing bad on Saturday. She's helping us with moderating, and we appreciate our moderators. So thank you so much for moderating today. And please, by all means, hang out and talk to each other in the chat there. We like to support networking here at the Pedrozatravel Show. So yeah, that's very interesting what you said about having a handicapped room. You know, one of the things that I've talked about on my show before is I'm trying to be more of a budget traveler. And so that's one of my things, is I'm trying to be more of a budget traveler, especially when it comes to cruising, because as you know, cruising can be expensive. And so I keep on booking interior rooms to try to get the cheapest room. And I've been doing really good about getting the cheap room rates. I do, like, my thing is I like to do last minute cruise. Like, there's like this last minute cruise site, and I'll go there and I'll get really good deals. Like sometimes I'll get like a 3-day weekend cruise for like $150, and it's amazing. But the thing about it is I haven't actually stayed in an interior room. I keep on getting upgraded. And so I've only done balconies. Well, I did some ocean view rooms too, but it's been balcony ocean. But on the next one, I'm doing a cruise in July. I'm going to be going to Alaska in July on NCL. And the same thing, I booked an interior room for NCL. And I think I told you guys about this on your show. Um, but I booked an interior room and they upgraded me, but they upgraded me into a handicapped room, which I thought was really weird because I'm not handicapped. I didn't put that preference in. And my understanding is there's not many rooms. Is that correct?
That is
There's
correct. And if
Usually
some,
about 30 on a ship on average.
but they may bump you out of that room if someone books that needs the room.
Right.
Or you can always, when you get on the ship, you can always go to the desk and you can say, you put me in a handicap room, and if there's someone on the ship that needs it, I'd be more than glad to move rooms. And they, a lot of times, will even give you a better upgrade if you're willing to give up that handicap room.
Yeah, I would not be. Yeah, wow, I did not know that. There you go. I did not know that either. So that's interesting. Like, I won't be the first one to deny a better upgrade. I'm all about the upgrades. We've definitely done well on upgrades before.
We've also had people that gave up their handicap room but went down a level in room, and they got onboard credit or some type of compensation as well. And that always is a good thing too. I love me some good onboard credit.
Yeah, onboard credit is good. We're going to be talking about onboard credit. You guys taught me some other moves about onboard credit before that I didn't know until this week. I should have known that before, but we're going to be talking about that. Hello, Grandma UT. I'm so happy to have you on the show all the way from Jakarta, Indonesia.
Whoa.
We have some international guests. We have some guests from New Zealand today. We have some guests from Indonesia, all over the place. And then just California. So we're all over the place here today on the Pedroza channel. Thank you
And
so
Florida.
And Florida.
much. Florida. What, coast to coast.
There you
Coast to
go.
coast.
It's coast to coast. Yeah, 7 p.m. your time, 4 p.m. my time. So, yep. And yeah, so everywhere and anywhere here, we're happy to have you, even if we're from Southern California. So how is the weather over there right now? It's kind of raining over here.
How's the weather here in Florida?
Yeah,
Cold. It's 62 degrees.
yeah. 62 degrees, yeah.
Cold.
And the people in Utah are like, what the heck is going on?
I was outside pressure washing the driveway today, so don't listen to her. It wasn't cold. I said, "Oh, it's a nice cool day, and go out and pressure wash this driveway and not burn up out there."
Yeah, no, it's raining here in Southern California, and that is one of the reasons why I have my bags packed. Actually, after this show, as soon as this show's over, I'm out of here. So I'll definitely make sure that we keep it in an hour show today because I got the bags packed, ready to go. And no problem, Grandma Yudi. Please, people in the comments, talk to each other. That's how I've gotten a lot of subscribers, is by just talking to people in the comments. And please, check out everybody's channel. We'll be talking about other ways here that you can share out your channels. And we're very happy to have you. And I'm sorry that Tampa is cold today. Hopefully the oranges are doing okay in Tampa.
Yeah, Traveler Bus, they live not too terribly far from us. They live about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from us.
Oh, and look who came into the chat. I am Betty J. Gathers. Hello, I am Betty J. Gathers. We're so happy to have you here on the show. Again, you are watching the Pedroza Travel Show, where we talk about all things travel related, and we are here with Robin and Chet from Sea Leg Journeys. Please, we will be pinning them in the chat. Please go S, and the crowd goes wild. Yeah, there you go. That's as good as I get on sound effects. My sound effects board is really bad. I'm learning to do sound effects, but we're trying. So you did your first video on a handicapped cabin.
Yep.
And so you have grown since then. I believe you're on the cups. If I just saw, you're almost at 1,500 views right now, 1,500 subscribers right now, right?
We're dangerously close.
Dangerously close to 1,500.
Dangerously close.
Yes, folks, we were talking about it just before the show. So if you haven't done so, please go over and subscribe to Sea Lake Journeys. If you can help us out, Sarah out there, yes, put the link out. Sarah just put the link out. So please, everybody, subscribe out to Sea Lake Journeys. Get them up to 1,500. And so we will help you out there.
If you're waiting for a sign, there it is.
There it is. The sign
You're waiting
has
for
come
a
up.
sign. So
The sign
subscribe.
has arrived. The sign has arrived. This is just gonna be one of those shows today. I can see it already. I will tell you, folks, if you have not checked out Sea Legs Adventure, they have a show every day. I don't know what time it is Eastern time, but it's 5 a.m. Pacific time, which I will get up for 5 a.m. for your show Pacific time because they are that great of a show.
It's 8:30 Eastern Standard, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, it's a lot easier if you're East Coast time. 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Betty's saying it's 7:17 Pacific Standard Time. I don't know. Yes, the co-host names. We are here live with Sea Leg Journeys, Grandma UT. Sea Leg Journey. And maybe we'll get some international exposure for a channel.
There you go.
How about
How about that?
Grandma Yudi is a great channel. She's an Indonesian channel. She speaks both English and Indonesian. She does like great. She goes to like great gardens is what she does. A lot of green places. I love those videos out there.
Cool.
Yeah, so check her out.
We will definitely do that.
She has a great community out there. Oh, I see my partner in crime has come into the house. Let's see. My chat's a little bit delayed, but I see it on the YouTube. There he is. It's the one. It's the only. It's Bill from Warmstrong Channel, and I got to give him applause because he on his channel. So we are happy to have you, Bill. Thank you for coming into Pedroza Travel. So many good people on this show. So you are at 1,500, which, by the way, we're talking
We're
about.
not quite 1,500. We're
Almost.
dangerously close.
Dangerously close. No, we're getting you there. I'm talking, you got to talk like the dream, guys. You got to talk like the dream, like it's happening. That's what they always tell me on all those like YouTube channels. You want to have the dream, you got to talk like you own the dream. I don't know if it's true.
Absolutely.
I'll do it anyways if it helps me get another subscriber. Wow, it's 6. Yeah, that's the other thing is Indonesia. They're in the future, so I'm still waiting for them to give me the lottery numbers. So me back in the past, I can win.
Yeah, they're in
So
Monday
that's what I'm
morning
trying to
already,
do.
ain't they?
Yeah, they
Any
are.
day, Grandma Yudi, that you want to give me the lottery numbers because you're one day ahead of me. Please do.
Right on.
Yeah, right on. See, this is the way I think here.
But
This is
I
the way
think
think.
if that was a real thing, people would have done that a lot already.
You don't know until you try. You don't know until you try.
Yeah, maybe nobody's been crazy enough to try it yet. Hey.
Maybe.
No, you don't know. So, where do you see your channel going in 5 years? Where would you like it to be?
Well, I know where we would like for it to be. Chet lives in a fantasy land. I live in reality. So,
Okay.
in reality, I think 5 years from now, we'll probably be around 15,000 subscribers.
And I'm thinking, how about 50,000?
Yeah.
How about 50?
50,000 subscribers.
That's what he says.
Maybe
Well,
I'll
you
win
know,
the
you don't
lottery
get the
too.
plaque until you get to 100, right?
Do what?
You don't get the plaque until you get to 100,000
100.
subscribers.
That's right.
Until then, all you get is like the YouTube buddy.
Yes.
Emails.
Yes, that's it. Yes. So yeah, we get the plaque one day, but probably not within 5 years.
And then where would you put it? Right behind you on the wall
yeah.
there, on the seawall back there?
Actually, I have a whole different thing I want to do at the wall back here. It's sitting out on the dining room table. I just haven't had a chance to.
I hung
Do
it up
it
in the
to-
bathroom. I thought it was a shower curtain. My bad.
You know, it was the shower curtain. If I see a shower curtain, I know what happened.
First of all, we have no place in this house for a shower curtain because all of our showers have sliding glass doors. So.
Oh, I wonder what that room was I hung it up in. It must have been a closet.
You have a shower now, you just didn't know.
Right?
On that note, hello, 100 Proof Quilter. We are happy to have you in the show. Welcome into Pedroza Travel Channel Show. And hey, what up, everybody? We are so happy to have you here. We are talking to Robin and Chet from Sea Leg Journeys. And we're going to be talking about Princess Cruise Lines, but right now, apparently, we're talking about showers. So we are now all shower stationed.
We need to get back on topic.
Back on topic, what's that?
The
The crowd goes wild. So 5 years from now, you're saying 15, Chet's saying 50. Why don't we call it in the middle and call it 25,000?
Sounds good to me.
That's more reasonable.
I
Monetized
want
already,
Snub Nose
so
to
you
25,000.
monetize really. And the thing about subscribers, after 1,000, you're already monetized, so it doesn't really matter how many subscribers. It just matters about views. So
Views.
Exactly.
That's right.
views is what
Views.
counts.
That's right.
Exactly.
Everybody talks. I'm on the road to 1,000. That's my goal. But really, after 1,000, it's all about the views.
That's right. That's right.
I
They'll
agree.
come, go up and down. It doesn't matter. So, this is a travel show, guys. And so, I believe you got to think always. And so, if you could travel, not only in space, but also, when I say in space, somewhere around on the planet, where would you go? But also, what time would you go? So, if you could go back in time and travel at any time, where would you go and why?
Well, first of all, Chet loves history. So where we go, he's probably just going to drag me along, and I'm probably just going to be like, oh, wow, this is amazing. So where are we going to go?
Okay.
Well, I know she wants to go on that Viking ship with Leif Erikson, and we're going to cruise
yeah.
head on over to Iceland, Greenland, North America, and we're going to find out where did he go, and then we're going to jump off the ship and build a colony there. How about that?
That sounds great. Chet does come from a Viking descent, so that's awesome to me. That sounds great.
Okay. Actually, I have Viking descent too, so I'll just come along with you.
Oh,
Maybe I'll
oh,
visit an
yeah.
old grandfather or something.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that sounds exciting. I mean, after all, they were the first cruisers, right?
As
That's
long as I
right.
don't get into some kind of weird ship battle there, I don't think I would be a good rower. I'd be like, why is the ship only going 2 knots, John? It's because I'm overweight. Like, what kind of fitness class was this? I didn't sign up for this kind of a fitness class. That's what I
Yeah, where's the buffet, man? What's going on here?
Where's the buffet on this thing? Because this fitness class has gone way too long now.
Way too long.
Way too long.
Oh, my cheeks are hurting from laughing.
Yeah. And
If we had a second stop, though, we'd go to Egypt to watch those pyramids being built. I'd like to see that kind of a technology and engineering all put together, and how did they do it? Because no one really knows for sure.
Oh, they do know. They used magic.
Aliens, right?
They used magic
Aliens.
rollers. They rolled them up there.
what's aliens? What's aliens?
Alien technology.
Sarah will be with you. Sarah from My Flock is Everywhere. She'll go with the alien theory. She'll do it. She'll do it.
Sounds good to me.
You know? Hey, we'll see.
No,
Maybe
it's
the Vikings
amazing.
did it.
Like all those what do they call them? Those big long poles. I forgot the word. It was on the tip of my tongue, but I started laughing and I forgot what it was. Anyways, yeah, the way that they erected some of those pyramids and some of those monuments, it's obelisk. That's what I was thinking about.
Obelisk,
Obelisk. How did they get those things so high and up in the air? It's amazing. Like I haven't been to Egypt, but I've been to Italy. I've been to Rome, and those obelisks are huge.
Yeah.
They're just crazy huge. Like, how do they do it? I just don't know.
Don't know. They were a lot smarter than we are. That's the only thing I can figure.
For
And
sure.
we've just gotten
For
dumber
sure.
Yeah.
And yes, Grandma UT, do we need a thumbs up? Of course we need a thumbs up. We'll always take a thumbs up. Anybody on YouTube will always take a thumbs up. Yes. Thank you so much.
That's right.
Thank you, everyone, for just interacting in the chat. Thank you for being here, everyone. We appreciate it. As any YouTuber will say, we know that you have lots of options out there. And the fact that you're here with us today is amazing. And we are so thankful to have you here. So thank you so much. A big round of applause to everyone who's in the chat because we
Right on.
Okay. Z Shows Cruise Fun says, I will be in the 80s, called that the best music ever. Okay. Mr. Roboto, that's what he's going to be singing. But how would that work, Z? Because isn't like your baby mama Carrie Underwood? Carrie Underwood's from the 90s, right? I don't know, Z.
She wasn't born yet.
Yeah, she's not born yet until the 90s.
We'll have to think about this one.
Yeah. Whoa, Sarah, she said, lol, John, yesterday I went live for 11 hours and 30 minutes. What? How did you do that?
I would not have had a voice left after 11 hours.
Me
No
neither.
way.
Please tell me that you had a big panel for that one, Sarah. And then Sarah said,
Wow.
please like and subscribe. Please do. Trying to catch up with the chat. Paid the rent. Good. Paying the rent is a good thing. Yes. The rent is the thumbs up. And then high fun. Yes, do hit that like and subscribe button. We appreciate that. And yes, Sarah, we promise we're going to try to keep it to a family show. We try. We're going to keep it as much family friendly. This is a family friendly show here. We won't.
That's right.
That's right.
Our
Promise.
grandchildren may be watching.
Yep.
Oh,
right.
okay. So Z's saying she would time travel with me.
There
is
you
what-
go.
Okay.
Okay. That's a good answer.
That's a good answer.
Z says he's been up there too, 10.5 hours. It was
Yes,
crazy.
he has. Mhm.
How? How?
It's
How can people
insane
do that?
crazy. Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to say. Half
Z
the time I
did
don't
have
know
a
what to-
panel. Z Man,
Panel,
when he did
okay,
his
a
10
panel.
hours, he had I would have to call it a rotating panel. You know, some people came up and then, other people came up. I would call it a rotating panel.
Yeah, that's the only way. It had to, like she just said, I've done a 30-day stream. It had to be a panel. It had to be a rotating thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I know, like, the cruise community was doing, what was that charity that they were doing?
Oh,
Helping Hands for Cruising.
Helping Hands for Cruising, yes. Very good project there.
we participate in that as well. That's a great. Actually, one of our subscribers is on a cruise right now through Helping Hands for Cruising.
James Catanese.
That's great. For those who don't know, Helping Hands for Cruising is kind of the community. I wouldn't call it group, but
It's a fundraising event.
fundraising activity to help veterans go on cruises.
It's
So
actually not just
Not
veterans.
veterans.
It's anyone that's never been on a cruise before and would not be able to cruise otherwise.
Yes.
Whether they have a physical handicap or whether they have a financial issue, it is literally you just fill out an application on Helping Hands for Cruising website, and you just tell the story of the person you want to nominate, and the person that's nominated wins a free cruise.
How about that?
Oh, okay. There you go. Cool. That's great.
We want everybody to experience the joy of cruising.
Yep.
Yeah, and like I was saying on my last show, like even if you do like a little weekend cruise, you can get those as cheap as $150 sometimes, and it's a great way. I don't know what the rates are like on the East Coast, but on the West Coast here, it can be very cheap if you go like on the Carnival Radiance, and we'll talk about price in a second here on the cruise lines, but it can be very cheap. It doesn't have to be expensive at all. It can be a very cheap thing to do. And then it says, I saw over 10,000 people watching me and kept me going. Yeah, if I had 10,000 people watching me on a show, I'd probably keep on going. I don't know. That's still a lot of talking, guys. That's still a lot of talking.
That's still a lot of talking. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Sarah, Z-Show wants to know, hey, you're not old enough to drink that.
And Z-Man always tells me that I am too young. I'm not even old. I'm not even legal age. And Chet's robbing the cradle. I appreciate
Sure.
Z-Man very much. He's
Okay.
so sweet. He lives
No,
in Fantasyland.
they're watching you out there. They're watching you. So I'm going to put out here, everybody. We do have Nightbot here on there. So I'm going to put this out on the chat. So if you're out there and you want to share out your channel, please type in !drop link. So that is the function on this channel. If you press !drop link, please share out your channel. We encourage networking on this channel, and I want to share out your channels as well. So please, by all means, !drop link. That's going to get you to the show. So with that, we're going to go to our topic of the day. And the topic of the day is we are talking about Princess versus Carnival Cruise Lines. So when you talk about Princess versus Carnival Cruise Lines, it's very interesting, the comparison. And this is the real reason that we brought Robin and Chet to the show today, is because they are platinum. My understanding is you're platinum on both Carnival and Princess Cruise Line. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That is correct. Yes, they have a lot of experience in this area. And so I'm just curious on this to get your ideas on the two. And what a lot of people don't understand is both Carnival Cruise Line and Princess Cruise Line is actually the same company.
Yes.
It is.
They are both the same company. And so they're when you go on one, you're going on the other. But they're not the same loyalty program.
No.
They have different loyalty programs. So that is something that's important to note. They have totally separate loyalty programs, but they are the same company. But they're catering, I think, to different audiences is the difference.
Absolutely.
So let's go and talk about that. So let's talk about price first. So I kind of know the answer here, but you're the expert, so I'm going to ask you the questions here. Price, Princess versus Carnival, which one's cheaper?
Carnival.
Carnival for sure. Yes, Carnival is definitely a cheaper cruise line. As we stated before, you can get a weekend cruise for as low as 100. They can go as low as $50 per night on Carnival. On a Princess cruise line, expect to have at least about $100 per night, maybe even more.
Yes.
On the West Coast. I'm sure it's probably about the same on the East Coast.
And that's the thing with Carnival too. They do a lot of 3 and 4 and 5 night cruises. Princess has very few of those.
Yeah,
Very-
they don't do the weekend cruises.
No, they're more 7 days and up. And
Yeah.
but Carnival's got all those short cruises, which of course is going to be cheaper because you're only paying for 3 or 4 or 5 days instead of 7 or more. And they are cheaper, like you say, by the day, $50 a day, and versus $100 a day. So yeah,
And both cruise lines, and we'll get into that later, I'm sure, in the topic. Both cruise lines have totally different things to offer cruisers.
Yes.
So it's
But-
not like they're identical only because they're sister companies. They're totally different.
Yeah, no, they're definitely different. The ships look different. The layout of the ships are different. And I think the clientele is different too on the different ships too.
Absolutely.
yep.
Yeah. One thing that is not different on the two ships is, like I said, they are both owned by Carnival Cruise Line. Carnival is the parent corporation of both Carnival Cruise Lines, Princess Cruise Lines, the Cunard Fleet, the P&O Fleet,
Yep.
Costa Cruises,
Yes.
and
Aida?
and AIDA. Yeah. So all of those are owned by Carnival Corporation. And in studying for this show today, I learned that. And what's interesting is I didn't know this until I was in the audience in your show in the chat, and you can actually get shareholder credit for being a shareholder in the Carnival Cruise Line. So if you have 100 shares or more of Carnival Cruise Lines, which right now it's down to like $8 a share, which is
Yeah.
really easy. So you can get this for like $800, which is crazy to me. You can get like a $50 credit at least or more.
Well,
Okay.
actually, Chet knows. First of all, we've had stock in Carnival for years, and there is great benefit to it. And the stock is across the board, unlike the royalty program is not across the board. And I'll let Chet talk about that because he's more.
Oh, okay.
more
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, up to 6 days, you're going to get $50 onboard credit per cabin. So you can't cheat a little bit and her get 100 shares and me get 100 shares and get double $250
No, don't worry
per
about that.
cabin. So
Right.
you might as well just buy it jointly and get that $50 for those up to 6 day cruises. 7 days, up to 13 days, you're going to get $100 onboard credit per cabin.
Wow.
14 days or more, you're going to get $250 per cabin.
I'm telling you, $200 onboard credit.
250.
I mean, $250.
$250.
Yes.
You can do a lot of damage to $250 on onboard
My
credit.
point exactly.
You bet.
And the other thing that I learned from your channel, and correct me if I'm wrong here, is that you can stack these credits together. So if you're like a veteran, for example,
Yes.
you can stack your shareholder credit with your veteran's credit.
On Princess you can, but you can't on Carnival. Carnival don't recognize the military benefit anymore.
Oh, really?
Really?
But
yes.
Princess is very much veteran related. They'll have veteran meet and greets. They'll have in the main theater. They'll have all the veterans stand up and let's give them a hand. So they're very geared towards their veterans, and you can get extra points on board credit, right,
For what?
for being a veteran
On Princess, yes.
on Princess.
Yeah, that's what we just. Yes.
But not on Carnival. That's interesting.
Not on
Because I
Carnival.
thought on the East Coast they were doing veterans cruises and stuff.
Yeah, you can. There's a lot of veteran. There's also emergency medical, what do they call that? First responder. First responder discounts you can get on cruises as well.
But when we're
Oh, I'll
talking
have to
about
look into
onboard
that.
credit based on shareholder, you're only going to get that with Princess, not with Carnival.
Right.
I did not know. There's all sorts of credit. So I guess the big thing is when you're booking a cruise, make sure that you talk to either the person online if you're booking it directly with the cruise, or if you're working with a travel agent, make sure that you talk to your travel agent and let them know, have a conversation, have a dialogue with them so
Yes.
that they will know what discounts you might be eligible for. And I always tell people before you make that final payment, I always look for a price drop because that's also helped me out many times.
Oh yeah.
And you can even do that afterwards. I know, like, I don't know, I've never tried it afterwards after I paid the final payment with Carnival, but I did it one time with NCL, and even though I made my final payment, the price dropped again. But they gave me the difference in cruise credit, and that's what I'm part of that. I'm actually using on this trip to Alaska. So by all means, I always tell people just advocate for your discounts.
But Chet
Because-
will always say, do you have a
Handicap discount, military discount,
ex-police officer discount? you know?
any whatever, what kind of discount?
What
Long
kind of-
hair discount.
Yeah. He'll make sure he throws out there every possible discount because you just never know. Sometimes they're running promotions and it'll be a promotion for a first responder discount. If they don't know that you're a first responder, they won't just automatically say, hey, by the way, are you first responder? They just don't offer it. You just keep asking questions and pretty soon it'll be like, oh, wow, hey, how about that?
And of course, you will have to generate proof of these things.
Yes.
For anybody who thinks, "Oh, I'll just tell them I got it and get it." No, you won't. You got to have proof. You got to show them
Yes.
your shareholders certificate. You got to mail them a copy, a physical hard copy, and with your DD 214 for military, you're going to have to send them a copy of that as well, so that they can see that you actually were those things.
And that's for every single sailing. They don't just keep it on file for you because you can have shares today and sell them tomorrow.
Yes, your shareholder, you have to put on every cruise. Now on Princess with the military, we don't have to do that. Once you do it, it's locked in. They keep it recorded for you. But that shareholder, you got to prove it every time, y'all.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time. And make sure your paperwork's in because nothing's done until the paperwork's in.
Yeah,
You know
got it.
thing, I can tell you that one.
That is the truth right there.
I'm going to welcome in Shady Hill Homestead. Thank you so much. They are new subscribers to the channel as of yesterday. We are so happy to have you on the show today. We are here talking to Sea Lake Journeys with Robin and Chet. And we're talking about Princess versus Carnival, learning about the two different lines and how they compare and stack up to each other. So the price is definitely cheaper on Carnival,
Yes.
but I don't think it's that much more on Princess. So that alone is not always the reason. Don't let price always be your reason. And this is not to say that price varies by the services that you're going to get.
Yep.
So if you're going to do a week-long journey like on Carnival Panorama or the Vista, you're still going to pay a lot of money for that, for that cruise. But that brings us to our next one is embarkation. So I've not been on a Princess cruise before, so I'm curious on this topic of embarkation. Now, I've been here. I'm located out of Long Beach. Long Beach is with the Queen Mary and the Dome. That is a picture there of my home port.
Oh.
We're used to that, and it's pretty flawless there. But I don't know. Is it different on Princess Cruise Lines? How is it different?
We put a video up to show the difference. The difference is on Carnival. It's
So can I take this one?
go for
Yeah.
it.
We're talking about embarkation, right?
Embarkation. Yep.
Embarkation.
So this is just our opinion. Just our opinion. When you board a Carnival ship, it is the party is on. We actually have a video where we're standing in the parking garage and we hear the party before we've even gotten in the terminal. It's the party is there, and then when you were entering the terminal, the Carnival employees, they're like, woo! You know,
it's boarding
like,
the Carnival Liberty. I remember which one that is. Boarding the Carnival Liberty, if you want to see that one.
and so embarking on a Carnival cruise ship, you feel the party before you ever step foot on that ship. A Princess Cruise Line is a little bit more sophistication.
You're going to be entertained.
You're going to be entertained. For example, on the sail away party on a Carnival cruise ship, their theory is they want you up. First of all, they move all the deck chairs off the deck because they want you up, out of your seat, being part of the entertainment.
Yes.
You are part of the party.
Yep.
They
And
say
em-
be connected. Be connected.
Yeah.
That's what they like to say is be connected on
You're not
the
going to
show.
watch the party on Carnival. You're
No.
going to be part
You're
of
going
the
to
party.
be part of the party.
Yes.
And on Princess, the sail away party is they have all the chairs set up and everything, and the Princess dancers are on the deck performing for you. So you're watching the entertainment
Yes.
as opposed to being part of the
You
entertainment.
can chill out on Princess and watch the dancers and listen to the music and go, yeah, this is great. Carnival, you won't be able to go to this side of Lido deck to the other without being in a conga line.
There you go.
No, there's a conga line everywhere on the Carnival.
Everywhere.
Get in the conga line to go get a drink.
And they both have great things to offer.
Yeah.
What do you want out of your cruise?
And we
That's
like
it.
both, you know. One time we're glad we'd be doing this, and another time we want to do that. So we're glad there's a difference.
Yes, for sure. And one thing I've heard about is this. It's called the Medallion Program. I don't know if you can see that. They have this thing called the Medallion Program, which I am very intrigued about. Oh, you have one there with you. You
I have
a medallion.
several.
That's a platinum one.
Yeah,
So what's this Medallion Program all about?
So to back up to embarkation, the difference between Carnival and Princess on embarkation is this medallion out. So we get this is actually mailed to us before we ever leave the house. And mine, I wear mine in a bracelet, and Chet has his in a watch. So when we get to the port, all we do is we show our medallion, and that's it. We walk in, show our passport, we wait in line. On a Carnival cruise ship, you don't get your card, your sailing
Yeah,
sign
you have
card.
the card.
You don't even get that now. They used to give it to you before you boarded the ship, but nowadays they put it in your mailbox and you get it when you get on the ship. And while you're waiting to get into your room, you're just telling people, you're showing them the whole piece of paper that your printed
Embark thing.
your printed boarding pass.
Boarding pass, yeah.
So we have this before we ever leave the house. This is everything. Everything is in this chip. My board, my onboard account, my credit card, everything is in this chip.
That's very interesting. And so you said that you had a watch, Chet, and then she had a medallion, like a.
It looks just
necklace
like this
holder?
but with the medallion in it.
Right. I have a bracelet. What it is mine is a silver bracelet, and it's got a hole right here because this is magnetic, and it
Oh.
magnetizes into my bracelet. His is the same way, but his is a watch band as opposed to a bracelet.
And did
they
you have to buy that separately?
You can buy them separately. They sell them as a necklace. They also sell them as a lapel clip. Or you can just carry this in your pocket. I prefer not to carry it in my pocket because it's so small. I might lose it.
Now, what was interesting to me is I don't know if they do it on the East Coast, but on the West Coast, when I was in Puerto Vallarta and also in Cabo, there are several places where you'll see little cardboard cutouts in the
Yes.
stores that say Princess Medallion on it. And if you go to those stores, you can also, my understanding is you can use that like a credit card, basically.
Exactly.
And it goes to your ship account.
Yes.
Exactly. It's called off-ship purchasing. And what it is that store is already linked with the ship, and you scan your medallion and it's paid for. But then when you get back on the ship, you also get another 7% off, which is your sales tax.
At least they did on our last sailing. We don't
And-
know if that's
Oh,
every-
so you don't have to pay the local sales tax.
Right. So
interesting.
it's only the stores that have the emblem in the
Yeah,
window.
you have to have that emblem.
Absolutely.
Oh, and by the way, those are totally waterproof. You can go in the ocean with it. You can go in the shower with it, the swimming pool with it. You don't have to
Everything.
worry about taking it off for anything.
Well, I
Oh,
was
and
going to say they're magnetic. Aren't you ever worried that they're going to fall off?
no, and the free version is a lanyard, and so it has a
Oh.
Case.
plastic case that this sits inside the plastic case. That's the free version. It's a lanyard like anything else. I just don't want to wear a lanyard. I would rather just have it on my wrist. And the great thing about this is they know who I am because it has GPS in it. So I'm sitting. I order my drink. I sit down, and they're looking for me because on their little iPad, they have a picture of me, and
Oh,
there's
it's GPS too.
GPS too.
Wow.
So when they walk up to you, they know your name and everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here's your drink, Robin. Oh, thank you.
yep.
So if you order a drink, will they come to like the chair that you?
Absolutely.
Oh wow.
They'll
Okay.
they'll bring it to you anywhere on the ship. I can be on the Lido deck and order my drink and go down to my room or go down to the piazza and my drink is ready. They look me up. Oh, she's in the piazza. Off they go to bring it to me in the piazza. I'm spoiled,
Interesting.
oh princess.
Very interesting. But by the way, I don't mind the key card system. The key card system is very easy to. I mean, I don't know if they're doing it on the East Coast, but on the West Coast here, what they're doing is once you do register, they have facial recognition in the cruise port, and so once you go into that dome and you show them your passport, they will take a picture of you, and you do not have to break out your passport ever again on the ship.
That
This
is
goes-
only if you travel with a passport.
If you
we
travel-
have that here, right? We have that here as well. Only if you travel with a passport. If you're traveling with a birth certificate or some other type of documentation, you cannot do face recognition.
Yeah, you can travel. That's a good point. You can travel without a passport on what they call closed loop tour. So if the ship leaves and comes back to the same port, you only need your birth certificate. But I would never recommend anybody travel outside the country with a passport. You are on very dangerous ground if you do
Borrowed
that.
time.
Because if that ship gets stuck on that island or that port, now you have to fly home. And guess what? You're going to need an emergency passport.
Yes.
And those things are $200 and you are going to be delayed for probably a week
Or longer.
or
Yeah.
longer. Well, I don't know how it goes in other countries, but I know in Mexico there's lots of embassies, well, not embassies, they're consulate offices in the US consulate offices in all the major tourist ports. So you can get one, but it's going to take you a week. So you better be prepared, which is another thing. Don't travel without insurance. Travel insurance is important.
That's
This is
right.
not an ad for travel insurance, but I would always tell people, get the
Yep.
We tell people the same thing.
Same
We've
thing.
actually seen people where there was this young boy, he was, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11, and he kept running up the wall and doing backflips, an extremely talented young man. And I told Chet, I said, something's going to happen at one of these ports. Lo and behold, we were at a port, and he ran up the wall, did a backflip, and broke his leg. And they
Oh.
could not set it on the ship
Oh.
because
Yeah.
the brake was.
And now they got to evacuate that kid.
Compound.
The
yeah.
whole family off the ship
Yep.
in another country. I think we were in Belize. Yeah.
I think.
I've been to Belize. So the culture, I wanted to talk a little bit about the culture on Carnival versus Princess. Carnival is definitely a more laid back style. As you mentioned before, Carnival that's their theme. Their theme is it's the party ship. You have celebrities such as like Shaq is the newest fun
Love me some
ambassador.
Shaq.
Yeah, and he has his new restaurant there called the Shaq's Chicken, and I thought it was excellent. I got to try Shaq's Chicken on the Carnival Radiance, and I thought it was a great. But all the restaurants are pretty laid back on Carnival. So if you like a laid back atmosphere, Carnival is really good with that. How would you rate the atmosphere on a Princess cruise line?
Well, there's a lot of differences between the atmosphere of Carnival versus Princess. One of my major things for Carnival is that they took away a lot of things that I loved, like the tablecloth in the dining room and things like that. Those little things were important to me. And, so now the dining room in Princess for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you still have a cloth napkin and a tablecloth. On Carnival, they call it the American style table. It's much more relaxed. In the dining room on Carnival for evening wear, it'll be very, very casual.
This would be considered casual. This would be considered formal on a Carnival cruise ship, right here.
Exactly.
Yes.
Where on Princess, it's just slightly more upscale, slightly more traditional. You will see more formal gowns on a Princess cruise ship than you will on a Carnival cruise ship.
Yeah, I like to wear a tux, and so on Carnival, I'll be one of 3 guys on the ship that have one on. On Princess, half the guys in the dining room will have them on.
It's not that you it's not that you can't go to the dining room without a tuxedo on. It's just the difference in the clientele. Carnival is very, very relaxed atmosphere, 24 hours a day, where Princess kind of separates the day from the evening.
Now, did you ever find that it was like stuffy being so formal on the Princess Cruise Lines?
Oh, not at all.
It's part of our experience. We want to dress up.
You wanted to be dressed up.
We want to, yeah, and we feel really out of place when we dress up on Carnival. We're like,
I could probably tell with the hair. I should have known that.
Yeah,
with the hair, like that hair takes a lot of maintenance. I know you're laughing right now, but that's a maintenance haircut right there.
We actually had a hostess on a Carnival cruise ship one time, and we did not do tuxedos and everything on the Carnival ship, but we just dressed a little bit more than poolside for dinner. And the hostess every night told us, "Thank you so much for respecting our dining room."
yeah.
Our theory is if the waiter is dressed better than you are, you're slightly underdressed. That's just our theory.
I'm not letting that waiter outdress me. I'll tell you that, right?
Yeah,
I know some people don't want to dress up, but
right, and
but
that's
we do.
okay.
Yeah.
We do. If you don't want to dress up for dinner, a lot of people don't even want to go to the dining room at all. They just love the buffet. We have a video going up Friday about the breakfast buffet. The buffets are great. Me personally, I can stand at a buffet at home. I don't want to stand at a buffet on vacation.
Well, it's
I wanna
not
be
for
waited
supper
on.
anyway. I don't. Breakfast buffet's okay, but
So I always tell everybody, if Carnival is like going to the Old Navy, and Princess is like going to the Gap, and then the Cunard Fleet is like the Banana Republic.
I have changed that up a little bit for you, John.
Oh, what's your analogy?
Carnival is Walmart. Princess is either Bell's or Belk Lindsay, right there in that area. And Cunard is Nordstrom.
Nordstrom Rack.
But we
That's
all
all I
love
can get is
Walmart.
Nordstrom Rack.
And saying that Carnival is like Walmart, we all love Walmart. We all go to Walmart. We all shop at Walmart. We love Walmart.
But sometimes I want to go to Bell's or Belk.
There you go.
Or Nordstrom.
And when we really want that special extra oomph, we go to Nordstrom.
Oh,
We
there you
haven't
go.
done it
There
yet.
you go. My flock everywhere just said on a cruise ship is there all you can drink milk. Actually, on every cruise ship that I've ever been on, you don't even have to get the drink package to get all you can drink milk. That's
Nope.
one thing that's included usually
It's
on a
included.
cruise.
That's right.
And
you can get chocolate milk or white milk.
Yeah.
And if they don't have it on the buffet, you just ask and they will give it to you. And on Princess, it's not just white milk and chocolate milk. They also have almond milk and soy milk.
Yes.
There's a variety of milks on Princess cruise ships.
That's right.
Okay. I like milk. My son will, when he's on a cruise ship, that's what he'll always ask for breakfast. If we go to the MDR, the main dining room, that's lingo. MDR is cruise lingo for main dining room, or if we're at the buffet, it's always chocolate milk. Chocolate milk. It's because we don't give it to him here. That's what the issue is. We don't
Hey,
give
he's
it to
on
him.
vacation, so you get to have it on vacation,
There you
right?
go.
Yeah, on vacation, it's gotta be a special thing, right? It's gotta be like a special thing.
Yes.
And a tip for your son in the MDR, which I hate calling it that. To me, it's the main dining room.
Yeah.
For dessert, you ask for a scoop of ice cream and a glass of chocolate milk. He now has a milkshake.
Ooh.
About that.
Just
All right.
saying.
Okay. That's almost as good as like putting the peanut butter with the chocolate melting cake.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Chocolate with melting cake, yeah.
You
With
can
peanut butter.
order that too. Look at there. There's even a
Look
picture.
at that picture.
Yeah.
Oh, I started drooling. Look at that thing. Mm.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So, moving on here, one thing that I will give Carnival is the ship layout. And the thing that sticks out to me is this is something that you will never see on a Princess Cruise Line. And maybe that's okay, maybe that's what you want. But you will not see waterwork slides on a Princess Cruise
Nope.
ship.
Nope.
That's not going to happen.
You won't see the climbing ropes course or any of that stuff.
No ropes course.
But what you will see on a princess ship that you may not see on a Carnival ship is infinity pools and adult only swimming pools. Even though some Carnival cruise ships do have an adult only pool, on princess cruise ships, those areas are, I would have to say, a little bit more upscale, wouldn't you?
I think so.
And there are more hot tubs on a princess cruise ship that are truly hot, as opposed to Carnival hot tubs that are what I would say lukewarm.
Okay. I've never had an issue with the Carnival hot tub before, but I haven't been on a Princess Cruise Line, so I can't say that I can compare yet. So,
well, a lot of times on Carnival cruise lines, you'll see children in the hot tubs. So the hot tub is not typically 101 degrees or 105 like it should be. It's lower temperatured because they know children are going to get in there. On a Princess cruise ship, you are going to get a very hot tub.
Okay, and that's a follow-up question too that I had for you. Do you see a lot of families cruising on Princess Cruise Lines?
Yes.
Well,
they have the kids club just like they do on Carnival.
Let's put that in perspective. We don't see nearly the number of kids on Princess you see on Carnival. Carnival, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of kids. And Princess, I don't think we've ever actually seen with our eyeballs more than a half a dozen, even though we know they say there's 30 or 50 or whatever on the ship. You just don't see them like you do on Carnival.
But one thing that Princess does have that you don't always see, okay? Because the reason you don't always see it is because it's based on the number of children that are actually on board that ship for that sailing. Is a kids buffet. Princess has a kids buffet.
Oh, wow.
And it's only there if there's a certain amount of children on board. We have actually seen kids buffets on Princess cruise ships, but we've been on many Princess cruise ships where they did not have a kids buffet at all. So it depends on the number of children.
What we've never seen on a Princess ship is a child misbehaving.
Never.
Not
Never.
in any way
Really?
or form.
Never.
Not a teenager, not a young child, nobody misbehaving ever in any kind of way. But
Really?
Yeah, on Carnival, well, you see...
On Carnival, you might see some teenage... Well, they've gotten really good these days about cracking down on that. One of the things is when I was on my last cruise with... when they were talking about Shaq and being the entertainment director, he actually had some safety videos that they were blasting on the TV there. So, yeah, so it's definitely a thing to keep the kids down, and they've done a lot better. I don't have a problem with kids. I have a teenager. I always make sure my teenager's in on time. Like, I would just die personally if I ever found out that my son was like running around on the ship crazy. But I mean, to each their own. I'm not going to tell people how to parent their kids either.
No, we're not either. I mean, we had children. We've taken our grandchildren on cruises. I've been the designated babysitter for my daughters when they're cruising with their families. A cruise is a great family vacation. My thing is, parents need to be aware that not everyone on that cruise ship has had a background check. There are still dangers on that cruise ship. You cannot assume that your child is always safe because they're on a ship.
And you can't assume that there aren't going to be some people who drank too much that are going to tell your kid what time it is if they come over and do something stupid around them.
Right.
Yes, be aware.
You just
I could tell some stories about that, actually.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's crazy. So, entertainment. I know the entertainment on Carnival, they go to big Broadway-style shows. There's the casinos, of course, and you'll always see like a piano or some kind of like rock show. And then, of course, the Comedy Punchliner Club is very big on Carnival cruise lines. What kind of entertainment should we expect from a Princess cruise line?
Well, we're going to start first with the comedy show because the comedy show on Princess is so different than Carnival, and Carnival could learn something from Princess on this.
Okay.
Really good.
So on a Carnival cruise ship, you go to the Punchliner Comedy Club.
Which holds about 250 people, maybe?
Yeah, there's the PG and the R-rated version.
Exactly.
Yeah, but look how many people it holds. It only holds like 200 people in there.
Yeah.
And on Princess, you still have the PG and you still have the adult show.
Yep.
It's still 2 shows a night, but it's held in the main theater.
Where you can get 900 people in there.
Oh,
So,
okay.
how many times have you been on a Carnival cruise ship and you didn't get to see the comedy show because it was full and you didn't get to get in?
Or you've heard people talk about it. I've been on this ship 3 days. I ain't been able to see the comic yet because it's always full.
Right. So,
Yeah.
Princess holds the comedy in the main theater because it's usually a huge show. And then, as far as the evening entertainment, the main theater type of shows, they're pretty comparable with each other.
Yeah, I don't really see much difference between the shows. The shows are great on both ships.
And they both have random entertainment throughout the ship, you know, DJs and piano bars. And on Princess, you'll have some violinists. And on Carnival, you'll maybe have...
You have violinists on Carnival, too.
Yeah, calypso music more so on Princess ship than you would have on you'd have more calypso music on a Carnival ship than you would on a Princess ship, but they still have that too.
So
Music.
we're running up to the hour right now. We're gonna have to skip some questions. That's how it always goes on these shows.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure, by the way, having you on the show.
We appreciate you having us.
Thank you so much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. I think I'm sensing a winner here.
Oh,
but
a
I'm
winner.
gonna ask because that's my job as the host to ask the question. So which one do you prefer? There's a sign. Yes, I think we have a sign here. So which cruise line do you prefer, Carnival or Princess?
9 times out of 10, we would take Princess. But there's that 1 in 10 that we still want to go on Carnival once in a while.
Absolutely. You know, and it depends on, because I work and Chet's retired, it really depends on where I'm at. Am I stressed out? Do I need a party? Or do I'm stressed out and I need some quiet? That's how we're going to go.
Which is real hard for me to project 2 years ahead, but somehow I've been able to do it.
Yeah, you just don't know. I would say that's been my outside observation. If you want a little bit more party, you go on Carnival.
Yes.
If you want a little bit more relaxed, you go on the Princess.
Absolutely.
If you want a little bit more adults, you go Princess.
Yeah.
I mean, hello, they did start the Love Boat show.
That's right.
And then, hello, Carnival is the fun ship. That's what you
That's
do.
right.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I think both of them really have like their ups and downs, but they both have their positives. They both have their cons. But either one, I just say get out there on the sea. Just get out there and learn, and you'll find so much good things to do. So with that, thank you so much for being on the show today, Sea Lake Journeys. Anything you would like to say to our people before we go today?
First of all, we would like to say, if you've never been on a cruise, go on a cruise.
Yes.
You will love it, and you will be hooked like the rest of us, and you'll know what the hubbub is all about.
That's right. You'll know why we go cruising.
Yes.
And then the second thing is, Pedrozatravel rocks.
That's right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You hit that like button. And you already followed him anyway, but he's great.
Yes, and we really appreciate you inviting us on your show. And you've been on our show before, and anytime you'd like to be on our show, you are always more than welcome.
Thank you so much. Happy to have you. Looks like we have a lot of latecomers in the show, guys. We got to get some. We got 2 travelers from Mexico, expats in Mexico. Thank you for coming on the show. And then we have Carmen Lynn for the win. Hi, Carmen. We're happy to have you. You're on the end of the show. We've been talking about Principal Cruise Lines. That would be interesting. Princess Cruise Lines versus Carnival Cruise Lines. The comparison here. I hope all of you got some good information. If you did, please like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next show. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, please keep on traveling. We are so happy that you are with us.
We'll see you around the channel.
See you around the channel.
Perfect.